Oh, what is going on, guys? My name is Atlantis, and welcome back to our Minecraft Survival Vanilla series, whatever I've decided to call it. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to keep the name I've got set for it at the moment. But anyway, for today's episode, I believe it is time that we got ourselves a more stable food source. Now, I've been living off meat that I've collected. Now, when I was building the fort behind me, I had to go out and gather resources at one point, and I needed more food, so I went to gather that. And it made me realize just how little food I actually have. So what I have now is what I've been living off since I finished building this, because I haven't played much since I finished that episode. But we're lacking. We've got a stack of pork chops, we've got some chicken, a bit of rabbit, a few veggies, and some mutton that I've been living on, and a bit of bread that I found at a village. But that's not going to last very long, and it's not nearly enough to keep us for the long run. So, for today, we're going to get ourselves a farm going. Now, first thing I need to do, however, I want to get a horse. I think it's time we got a horse. And now I know there are horses in that general direction, so that is the direction we're going to go. And along the way, we're going to try and collect some cows and bring some sheep and such back. We only need 2 of each. So cows, chicken, sheep, and we're going to bring them back and build a nice little farm. Because not only do I need food, but look at this. It's a fort. It needs some food. What good is a fort if you can't feed it? So I'm going to get to sleep, and then we're going to head off in that general direction and see what we find. Also, something I must mention while we're traveling, the reason I'm not making a regular crop farm is because we live in a snowy biome. See our mountain back there? I love it. It's beautiful. But we live in a snowy biome. Biome. I am not redoing any of this because I have redone it about 5 or 6 times at this point. But we live in a snowy biome. So crops like wheat, carrots, all that fun stuff, why would it grow in a snowy biome? Those aren't winter crops. Maybe you could maybe get away with potatoes, but I don't think that's how potatoes work. It's a chicken! Well, that's a start. I need that. I did not bring seeds, so that's not ideal. Give me seed, please. Chicken. Okay. Chicken is right there. Chicken. I'm going to put you in a hole. You're going to live in this hole until I acquire some seeds without leaving the chunks. Cool. Seeds. Got them. Let's go. Chicken! Chicken! Right. 1 chicken acquired. Let's bring it back because we're still very close to our base. Also, when it is sunset, that is one of the most beautiful views I have seen so far. Come here! Let's go. Now, I could just make a rabbit farm and live off rabbit, but I have pet rabbits. I don't really want to make a rabbit farm. So that's not our plan for this. Maybe I'll just add 1 or 2 just to give it some flavor, I guess, but I'm not making a rabbit farm. Anyway, I'm going to walk our chicken friend here back over to our house, and then we'll get going on even more of an adventure. Cool, the chicken has been acquired. Now, maybe. Nope. Not surprising, but we've got our first chicken. Now, technically, actually, that's our second chicken. You see, something I didn't mention in the last episode, and something that I probably should have mentioned. I found a baby zombie, and it had a chicken. And I killed the zombie, and I saved the chicken. But when I brought the chicken over here, I tied it up next to that goat. And then, after I got done, like, mining, I think, I went underground after I got the chicken, and I got some stone, and I came back. My chicken was gone. And this was still here. This goat. I don't like this goat. There's something very suspicious about you. I don't like you. You're going to go to jail as soon as I have the materials to make a jail. But anyway... 1 chicken acquired, 1 to go, and then we can just make more. And also we need some cows and sheep and all that nonsense. So let's head off in that direction again and see what we find. Alright guys, we've traveled for a little bit, and first things first, look how beautiful the sunrise is. Sunrise! My god! Look how beautiful it is. And also, we are currently in a place that I have named Winter's Edge Camp, and this is a camp I put here last time. So I didn't record myself placing it, but this is a camp that I made when I had to go gather food and resources and all that halfway through building my main base. But anyway, the sun is rising, and I only stayed here because it started raining, and I didn't feel like moving along, but also because over the hill over here, there are some sheep. Oh my god, and that is not a sheep. That is violent. Stop it. Quit it. Go away. Mean. Anyway. Hey, look, a donkey! Friend. Friend! It's friend-shaped. It's not a horse, but it'll do for now. That's not friend-shaped. Stop. Go away. I'm trying to make a friend. And you are not friend-shaped. Oh no! My friend! I hit it. Any second now, you will be tame, and you will be my friend. Stop it. Yay, friend! Friend! That is... well, it has a saddle now, so that's something. And now I can put a chest on it. Also, I've made my UI smaller, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet. Donkey. Yay! Friend! Anyway, now we have this thing, so we can potentially lead our sheep home. Come here, sheep. That's 1, that's 2. I knew there's 3. Yeah, there's 3. Now, I could have slept through this, but that's no fun. Okay, come here. Come on. Come on. Right, so now comes the task of getting my donkey and my sheep home. I like this. Oh my god, there's a 4th one. Come on. All of you are coming with me. This is going to be an adventure, and a task and a half, but we can do it. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to head this direction and hope I don't lose any of my sheep. Okay. The sheep have been caught. Kinda. Bad news is my chicken has escaped in the process of putting these things in the pen. Chicken, come here. Back in the pen you go. Okay, you know what? I have a solution. Just hold both. Perfect. Perfect solution. Works every time. Okay, 2 sheep and a chicken acquired. My god. Today is not a good day. But, okay. You'll notice we only have 2 sheep now, and we started with 4. First, at the beginning, and also my donkey. So, the donkey's fine. I left it in a hole because there was no way I was getting all of, at least, even 2 of these sheep back with the donkey at the same time. So I'm gonna go back and get it. But, adventure. Things happened. So, first thing that happened. There is deep snow at the edge of the forest over there where we found the sheep. And there's quite a bit of it. It's hard to avoid. So, 1 sheep died in the deep snow. And then these sheep started to have trouble with it. So I got them out of there and I went around. And then, about halfway home, we came across a wolf. And it killed one of the other sheep. So now we're left with 2. And that's enough. That's enough for our purposes. We only need 2. So, sheep acquired. We can put the seeds back in here. Actually, I'm going to hold on to them. But I'm going to organize my inventory a little bit, and then we're going to head back in that direction behind us to go get my donkey, and also find a few cows. And maybe I'll go around another way, because if you come from... if I go back around the mountain that way, it's actually a bit safer than going through the woods, so I might do that. So I'm going to go organize my inventory, head off that way, get my donkey, and then we're gonna find some cows. Once my inventory was suitably organized, I headed back off through the forest to collect my donkey, and the trip home on the donkey was easy. These things handle the deep snow a lot easier than 2-legged me does, so that was nice. And when I got home, I tied it to a fence and it stayed there. It tried to run off the edge for some reason, but that's just how it be, I guess. After sleeping, I decided it was time to head off and go collect our cows. So off into the adventure distance we went. Along the way, I came across a very beautiful ice spikes biome, and I decided to stop and take a few screenshots, and then after that, I kept going, and I found not only the edge of the biome, but a village, and that village had a lot of cows at it, so I decided to name it Cow Village. Not the best name, but it'll do. And after naming it, I took all of their stuff, including their hay, and anything they had in chests, and then I decided to watch the sunset from the top of their tower, and then I chose to spend the night there because it was nighttime and I didn't want to deal with cows and mobs at the same time. After waking up, it was time to collect the cows, so I had some wheat, and I went to go and find, well, several cows. I think I found 4 or 5, maybe 4. Yeah, it's just 4. And then I proceeded to lead them back home. Now, the trip home with the cows was significantly easier than the one with the sheep because it was mostly flat ground, I didn't have to go through a forest, and for a good portion of the trip, I actually had a frozen river I could walk on, so that made it significantly easier. However, once I reached the end of the frozen river and headed up the hill that was at the very end, it was starting to get dark, so I decided to set down a spot that I would turn into a camp. I didn't have the resources or the means to make a proper camp at the time, but I set it down and I named it Iceview Camp. And then I spent the night there, and once it was daytime again, I got on my way and headed back home. And it wasn't long before I was able to see my fortress in the distance, and it was a beautiful sight that I took several screenshots of. But after a bit more walking, I finally made it back home, and we built a little temporary fence for our cows because there was no way they were going to fit in the other pen. And then, yeah, that was the adventure. So nothing more to say, on to me talking some more. Okay. That was a task, but we have done it. I built them a temporary fence just for now, because there's no way they're gonna fit over here. Where's our chicken? Okay, we have one chicken in there. I still need to collect another chicken, but that is a task, and I can honestly live with only one chicken for right now. We're not gonna need chickens that badly. So we've got our chicken, we've got 2 sheep, we've got that thing, and we've got these things. So we have our farm animals. And hey, maybe I'll find another baby zombie with a chicken, and I won't let the goat kill it this time. But we've done that, so now it's time to start building our actual farm barn thing. So I am gonna build actual, like, efficient farms that aren't animal friendly and that don't necessarily look that great, but they're gonna be hidden behind things. So this farm is going to be for aesthetic purposes, and I am gonna use it a bit because I'm gonna need, like, meat and such. So I'm thinking either I'm going to put it, I don't know. I'm gonna make a path coming out of here and kind of make it go down the hill. I might put it, let's see, it's set over here. I might put it down in the valley down there because there's actually grass. Or I might put it kind of back over there. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna put it yet. I haven't really planned out that much. I haven't got that far, but that's it. That's the plan for today, is to build ourselves a nice looking farm that'll fit along with our fortress here and make it look like it actually has a farm, giving it resources and all that. And I'm going to build a road going that way and a road going that way because, my god, that forest is a pain. But that's future project. But anyway, I'm gonna get going on getting this farm thing built and then we'll see what happens next. So either farm time-lapse next or something interesting next, we'll see. But on to whatever comes next. So for this build, it was easier to build than it was to plan. I wasn't entirely sure where I was going to put it even once I started, so I just started building a path and I just started building things, and it turned out pretty good. I'm really proud of the log cabin. It is a style that I borrowed from an image that I found, but it's a beautiful style and I think it looked really cool, so that's why I used it. And the barn could have looked better, but it's a barn. It's meant to be more practical anyway, so that's okay. Also, I may just move down to that log cabin instead of the fort because it's really cozy. It's probably the coziest log cabin I've ever made and I'm so happy with it. But this build itself didn't really take too long. It took maybe like 4-ish hours. Of course, it took twice that amount of time to gather resources and stay alive, so basically all day, but still. Anyway, this is a very short time lapse, so I'm not going to talk too terribly long. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the time lapse and we'll get on to the next part of the video shortly. Alright guys, I am back, and look at our farm down there! Look at it! I'm so proud of it! The barn could maybe use some work, but it's a barn. Again, it's practical, so we don't worry about that. But that house, it's so cozy! I love it. It's not quite furnished yet because I ran out of materials while I was building this, but that's okay. But let's head down over here. Don't mind the tall trees. I did run out of spruce wood after I finished the barn, but we'll get on to more details with that later. But let's head down our path here. Now, the lights you didn't see in the time-lapse because I may or may not have done a stupid and forgot my recording was paused. So, that's something that happened. But Look at this path. I feel like I need to start shoveling the path a bit more though. That's an annoying thing about this biome. There's snow everywhere. But let's head this way and look at our barn. Also, the green grass, I might get rid of the green grass somehow. I don't know how, but I will find a way. But look at our barn and our log cabin. I love the log cabin. Now again, it's not furnished on the inside because I ran out of resources, but it's already so cozy. Look at the campfire. Not the campfire, the actual fire. And then if we head upstairs, it's just this nice cozy space where we can put a bed. I love it. I might live down here instead of up at the fort, honestly. This place is so nice. But let's head out here. And there's our barn! I like the barn. Now, eventually, what I'm going to do is expand this path off around the barn that way, and that'll expand into a road that goes into the forest over here. But that's not for today. That's for later. But let's head inside the barn because I have a surprise. So, when I was building this, I ran out of wood, and I ran out of oak wood. So, the spruce wood I can get pretty easily. I've got trees up there growing right now. But the oak wood is a bit trickier, so I decided to go on an adventure to the village, the cow village specifically, to not only get oak wood, but to get myself a horse. And I did indeed find a horse. Look at the horse! I love it! It's such a cute horse! Let's go say hi. Hello, horse! Hello! You're my friend! And it has really good speed. Good speed, good jump, I approve. Bestest horse. But yeah, that's our barn, our farm, and all this nonsense. So now I have a steady supply of meat, wool, and eggs whenever I want it, and also milk, but I don't really have much of a use for milk at the moment. I might make a cake. I don't know. I might make a cake. Now, something I do want to do, eventually. So obviously we need wheat and such to feed our animals, and so at some point I want to set up a sort of trade route thing. So a road going to a village or something that would make sense, where people living in a cold environment would get things that don't grow in cold environments, like wheat for example. And that's something I'm gonna do eventually. Project for later, but not right now. But anyway, let's bring our horse back to the top of the hill, because I brought it down here just for doing this specific recording bit, but let's head up to the top of our hill. I like this horse. It's really cool. And that is another thing, by the way. We will be needing a name for our horse. Now, I only have one name tag, so you can name the horse, the donkey, and the goat, but I am only going to be able to name one in whichever episode we name it in, unless I come across more name tags. So currently, I think the goat has dibs on the name tag, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll get more. But let's put you in the fence up here. We've got the donkey here as well. He's still got chests attached to him. He's very useful. I like the donkey. Also, I didn't show it in the video, and you did eventually see it, but I didn't specifically show it. I put the goat in here because I needed a lead to make my life easier when it came to hauling the animals over, and so I stashed the goat in here. I have barricaded my armor stand because he already headbutted it once, but he just kind of lives in here now. And he's only been violent once, but it's okay. He can just hang out in there, and we're going to pretend he doesn't exist. Also, something else. I raised this wall up a little bit, and I raised part of that wall up a little bit. I think it just looks a lot better that way, especially from the outside. And I feel like it makes more sense. Also, storage area over here. I mean, there's supposed to be a stone cutter right here, but currently the stone cutter is down where I'm building. But anyway, let's get on our horse and go do all the end of episode things over here. I do really love the way that log cabin looks. And eventually we're going to fill out most of the area around here. I think I'm going to put like more houses along the path down there, and then more houses along the other side of the path, and maybe even a few going up the cliff. And maybe eventually we'll have like a sort of gatehouse at the end of the valley over there. So that would be a fun thing to do, and maybe another one around that side, and then a wall coming out of here. We're gonna end up building like a sort of town here, and then eventually, one day, we'll have a castle up there, but that's a fair ways off. But anyway, I think that is going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like on the video. If you really enjoyed, be sure to subscribe. The channel has been growing like crazy lately. After I posted the Ice and Fire video with the Taming the Night Fury, the channel has... It did so much better than I thought it would. Let's just say that. So thank you guys so much for that. That is incredible. But anyway, I'm done with this video and I'm out of time for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!